Hi there, everybody. This is David, and welcome to New RPG News. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We just had the Game Awards, lots of trailers dropped, lots of new announcements happened, all sorts of cool stuff is going on, and I can't wait to talk about all of it with y'all. And I definitely do think that's worth a sub as you come and join a party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your hype. It helps me out a ton. I mean it from the bottom of my heart, y'all. So the Game Awards, I know a lot of people don't really like the Game Awards. I get it. I'm not exactly the biggest fan either, but they came out, they have a lot of influence, and it's always just fun to kind of talk about. And by the way, my David Vink RPG Awards for 2025 will be coming out next week. So please do look forward for that. It's going to be all RPGs because that's what I talk about here, but I kind of like do different categories. I'll do like a turn-based or an action or a strategy or indie or whatever, things like that, best story, best battle system, that sort of stuff. So I have a lot of different categories and stuff planned for that. I'll premiere that one as well. It should be a lot of fun. It's live on my Patreon right now, I'm pretty sure, actually. So if you're a Patreon member, you can watch it. Anyway, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 won it like holy crap, and boy, it deserves it. I loved Claire Obscure Expedition 33, such a good game. It got Game of the Year, it got Best Game Direction, it got Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Score and Music. Like, it got Best Performance, Jennifer English for Mayel. Like, oh my gosh, like it just so good to see a JRPG come on through and just sweep these awards is just insane. Best independent game, best debut indie game, like unfrickin' believable that it got all these things. Best role-playing game right here. Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles won best simulation and strategy. I've got to say, whenever I was making my game awards, I was going on through, and I always do best turn-based, best action, best strategy. You just kind of have to. And I was going through, and I was like, wow, there really weren't that many, strategy RPGs released this year, were there? Because it was obvious, like, okay, Final Fantasy Tactics, and I was like, well, what else released, It's like foregone conclusion, Final Fantasy Tactics kind of wins, spoiler alert. Like, it was just kind of like ridiculous. But yeah, unfreaking believable here that won. Like, it's just, it really just swept it. It did such a good job. And Clear Obscure Expedition 33 put out a thank you update right now, and you can see it here in this trailer. This kind of like Candyland themed world, I guess. It's really beautiful. It says a new playable environment, taking the characters of Expedition 33's to Verso's Drafts, a whimsical storybook adventure that ties to young Verso. There's new musical tracks, challenging boss battles for late game players to overcome within the Endless Tower, with new rewards, a new photo mode, new text and user interfaces in a whole bunch of different languages, now up to 19 supported languages for the game, and new quality of life improvements. Like, y'all, brand new game developer comes out, puts it at a $50 price point. It's accessible. They put it into a whole bunch of different languages, and they just knock it out of the park. Like, they're showing the big boys how to do it, and this is just great. They're setting the standard for what these other companies should be looking at and saying, wow, maybe we should have done this instead of doing that. And I totally have a company in mind, but I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name, various RPGs or anything and lambast anybody, but I'm just saying, like, some companies are like, oh, we're going to put our game out for $80, and then it's like some half-assed thing, and these guys put out theirs for $50 on a much smaller budget, and it's a much better game, and it's not a remake or a remaster. It's a brand new thing, and it's so cool, and I couldn't be happier for them. Now, this is really neat. This is called Vixen 357, and it's come to the West for the first time. It came out on the Genesis over in Japan back in the day, back in like 1991, but now it's coming out as a full physical release on a Genesis cartridge. There is all sorts of different stuff that comes with it: a registration card, a collector's card, an instruction manual fully translated, recreated with the charm of the original era, 3 different postcards, a promotional coupon, a double-sided poster, a reversible cover, all sorts of, like, this is really cool. The story is, it's basically a turn-based RPG. You can see it, playing above me. It's essentially Fire Emblem on the Genesis. The year is 2394 on planet Earth. A decade has passed since the devastating war against the aliens. Humanity, now in a better state, has invested in advanced weapon development and created multiple high-motility combat units known as vectors. Governments claim these machines exist to protect Earth and its people, but what hidden power do they truly hold? Could they bring another reason for their creation? Uncover the truth by mastering each stage with your strategic prowess and ensure the survival of your allies. And I'm going to show you a little behind the scenes thing here. This is an email to me, and yeah, so this is just neat. This is how I found out about it, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. You know, people email me this stuff all the time. They're like, hey, David, check out this game, and I'm like, whoa, this is actually really freaking cool. So yeah, you can order it right now. Let's see, it has all this kind of stuff right here. So yeah, the registration card, direct throwback to your original experience, certificate of authenticity. It's really cool right here. So yeah, you have pre-orders. It says pre-orders live from December the 12th through March the 27th, available through the official website, which I have up here, and I will include links for purchase. I believe, where's the link? Okay, I believe it's $70. Yeah, so $69.50 plus another $10 shipping to make it be $80 total for the game. I love Mega Man. I always have. It was one of my favorite games of all time, even back in the day, back in the NES. It was whenever I loved it the most. Mega Man 2 was probably my favorite game on the NES. Like, I loved it. And then we got the sliding power in Mega Man 3. We got the Mega Buster in Mega Man 4. Mega Man 5 had that awesome music. It introduced Beat, the little bird. Mega Man 6 had all these cool little power-ups and everything. It had, like, stages where you could, like, do different paths or whatever to get to the super boss and all that kind of stuff. So cool. I remember I got Mega Man 6 for my birthday. And my mother let me open up my gift before going to school, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And obviously I didn't bring the game to school, but I brought the instruction manual into school, and I was like, I remember I was reading it during class in 6th grade, and it was Mega Man 6, and the teacher was like, what are you reading? And I was like, oh, I got this game for my birthday. And she was like, oh, happy birthday, but you need to put that away and read your, you know, your textbook. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, we have a new Mega Man game. It's called Mega Man Dual Override, announced for the PS5, Xbox, Switch 2, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Due out in 2027, not 6. It's the 12th mainline installment, but it's not called Mega Man 12, oddly enough. And you would think that, like, Mega Man games would be kind of quick to produce. They're just a side-scrolling platformer with 8 boss stages and then the Wily Tower or whatever. But yeah, it's taking quite a bit of time. This month, Capcom will host a special boss design contest for Mega Man Dual Override, where fans will have a chance to help Dr. Wily create a brand new Robot Master to appear in the game. For details on how to enter, check the contest's official website and trailer. That's so cool because they did that back in the day, and I'm going to get into that too. I have another story about that as well. To celebrate today's reveal, Mega Man 11 will receive a special discount on digital storefronts over the coming days. For a limited time, players can look forward to picking up the acclaimed title on sale for $5 for Mega Man 11. And they're also expanding its arsenal of language options with Brazilian Portuguese and Latin American Spanish for new localizations. How cool is that? So, I remember, because I'm old. So, Nintendo Power did this contest back in the day for Mega Man 6 in America. They did it for Mega Man 5 in Japan and Mega Man 6 in America. And this was some of the contributions, I suppose, for it. And I contributed too. And my contribution didn't get chosen, and I was really freaking upset about it, and I was pissed about it, I must say. It was Thief Man. I remember Thief Man, and his ability was to, like, steal other abilities. I guess they thought that me getting an ability to steal other things' abilities would be, like, too many abilities or something. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess each Monster Master should only have one ability, and I was like, it would be like blue magic, you know? Get all sorts of different abilities. So, yeah. Just very neat, you know, that they're gonna do this contest again. Maybe I can try Thief Man again and get him getting accepted this time. This was so cool that I actually started recording this for news, And then I was like, no, this deserves its own video. And I made the video and I put that one out, and then you were seeing this on the day after, even though I recorded it. Yep. Anyway, this is Nippon Ichi announces a new dungeon crawling RPG called Curse Warrior for the PS5, PS4, and Switch, not on Switch 2, due out in Japan on March the 26th. We do not have a Western development, or a Western release date, I should say. I made a huge video about this just yesterday. If you want more detailed information, be sure to check that one out. It's basically a dungeon crawling RPG. It's turn-based. There are 8 different character classes that you can choose from. You go through the dungeon to get afflicted by curses, which are essentially buffs or debuffs. So they can be positive curses or negative curses. And you have to like manage the curses to like get through the dungeons and everything and complete quests and all that kind of stuff. But turn-based dungeon crawler looks very like Vanillaware, looks very like Unicorn Overlord art style, looks very like Darkest Dungeon, you know what I'm saying? So it looks just really frickin' neat. Again, if you want more information, check out the video that I made yesterday about it. Fairy Tale Dungeons is coming to the Switch on January the 7th of 2026 alongside a major update. How nice. So it says that you form a tenacious trio, build a deck of magical cards, and navigate an underground maze filled with treasures and secrets. Battle brutes blocking the path forward in strategic turn-based combat. Play cards in a specific order to activate magic chains for a massive damage boost and upgrade cards and skill sets after each run. This is its first major content update since its PC launch and invites 5 new heroes to the monster-filled dungeon dives. The Gajiel, Juvia, Mirajane, Laxus, and Gildarts. As you can tell, I do not watch the Fairy Tale anime, and I have no idea how to pronounce these guys' names. Countless new battle strategies await with the addition of over 200 amulets, 170 magical cards, 100 skills, 50 labyrinth quests, and 30 monsters and 20 items. So yeah, higher difficulty levels are accessed there, and there's also a new casual mode as well, so you can go for higher or a harder difficulty level or a less difficult difficulty level. I can't talk today. Calamity Angel Special Delivery is coming to the PC in 2026. It already came out for the PS4, PS5, and Switch. It hasn't come out yet. It's coming out for those consoles in February 17th of 2026. It came out already in Japan. Yikes, when you read too much, like your eyes, and I'm old, and it like gets all discombobulated. Lead a ragtag group of Kuka carriers in this delivery service RPG as they protect and trek packages through treacherous terrains, unruly monsters, and meet other sneaky delivery service teams ready to stake their claim as the best delivery service in the Oroktros region. Hopefully I got that right. So this is an Idea Factory RPG, and normally I'd be like, ugh, but I played a good Idea Factory RPG this year, Fia and the Wondrous Academy. So, maybe it won't be that bad. And it looks like it's turn-based too. So yeah, this is totally turn-based. You can totally see that. Yeah, so that's neat. Gang of Dragon is coming out for the PC. This is essentially Yakuza. It says the studio led by the Yakuza series creator Toshihiro Nagoshi has announced the Kabukicho set action-adventure game Gang of Dragon for the PC. Additional platforms have yet to be announced. This is set in the iconic nightlife district of Shinjuku, Tokyo, and Shinji Song, portrayed by renowned Asian director Ma Don-sok, is a high-ranking member of the Korean crime syndicate based in Kabukicho. As he explores the streets of Shinjuku, Shin becomes entangled in the underworld conflicts and forges intense human connections that push him to confront his own sense of purpose. Combat unfolds from a third-person perspective centered on Shin's overwhelming physical power. Engage enemies through brutal hand-to-hand strikes, precise blade attacks, gunplay, and high-impact vehicle action across the city. So this looks like it's more of like traditional Yakuza, and it's not Yakuza like a dragon sort of stuff where it's, turn-based, following Ichiban. So, just keep that in mind. Gonna be honest, whenever I first even saw the title of this article, I didn't want to cover it because I was like, this looks so dumb. But then as I actually read it, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. So here we go. We have a new announcement for an action RPG called Stupid Never Dies for the PS5 and PC. Brave a deadly dungeon to bring back the frozen human that you loved. And it's a studio led by the former Capcom producer that I'm going to try. Hiroyuki Kobayashi. It is going to launch in 2026. Now, here's where I was like, wow, this is kind of neat. So it has a pedigree behind it from the Capcom producer. And it also seems very like action RPG Mega Man. So listen to this. Werewolves, lizardmen, skeletons. In a world where monsters are part of everyday life, a bottom-rung zombie named Davy braves a deadly dungeon to bring back Julia, the frozen human that he loved. Gear up for a delightfully wild, blazing fast growth action RPG. Set in a monster-ruled, otherworldly dungeon, Stupid Never Dies puts you in control of Davy, a timid zombie living at the very bottom of monstrous society. Defeat enemies, level up, and collect strange items to grow stronger on your quest to bring Julia, a frozen human girl, back to life. Steal enemy abilities. Customize your undead body with bizarre upgrades and experience fast-paced action-based combat with innovation. So it sounds to me like, you're fighting, you're a zombie, you get like a new arm, and all of a sudden you have like, Fireman's power, or you get Iceman's power, or Windman's power, or whatever. Like it's like a zombie action RPG Mega Man, but in like 3D instead of 2D. It looks kind of neat. Speaking of things that look kind of neat, or at least kind of odd, we have Cassette Boy, which launches on January the 15th of next year for the PS5, Xbox, PS4, Switch, and PC. So it says it's a puzzle action RPG set in a world where things cease to exist whenever they can't be seen. Explore this mysterious world, confront its bizarre puzzles and creatures, and manipulate existence itself to uncover the truth. At first glance, Cassette Boy looks like a simple pixel art game, but there's much more beneath the surface. What appears to be a 2D world is actually 3D, and what's visible or not can be changed by rotating the world. To solve puzzles, you need to twist and rotate the map to change your perspective. For example, if something is hidden behind a wall and it can't be seen, it simply doesn't exist. You'll advance the game by hiding obstacles out of sight or revealing secret paths. But this is more than just a puzzle game. You'll also collect weapons and battle monsters and bosses. So that's kind of neat. You're like, oh my gosh, you're like really strong and powerful. Flip. Okay, you no longer exist because I can't see you. So it's kind of like playing peekaboo with a toddler. You cover up their eyes and they think that like they're hidden because they can't see you. So yeah, just kind of interesting. Showgunners is coming to the PS5, Xbox, PS4 on February the 19th of next year. Pre-orders include a free upgrade to Platinum Edition at no additional charge, including the following content: a copy of the game, downloadable content, various costume packs and weapon packs, all sorts of cool stuff. It says, in a dystopian future where corporations rule, a brutal reality show is the hottest entertainment property in town. You play as Scarlet Martillo, a contestant out for revenge. To win, you must navigate dangerous urban arenas packed with lethal traps and face off against hordes of heavily armed psychopaths. It sounds like The Running Man, but in like turn-based strategy RPG form. Yeah, this is a turn-based tactical game. It's not an action game. So yeah, but it's essentially The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger and that super freaking tight leather skin suit. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Town of Zaz launches in early 2026 for the PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Invites players to join the reluctant hero, Ito, as he returns to his family's farm and restaurant in a village shrouded in mystery and ancient curses. This adventure blends fast-paced combat, deep storytelling, and unique cooking mechanic, offering players a chance to explore the vibrant village while helping the townspeople rebuild bonds by uncovering an ancient magical presence. With its blend of exploration, action-based combat, and heartwarming cooking mechanics, Town of Zaz invites players to uncover the mysteries of a town like no other. After receiving a letter from his parents, Ito reluctantly returns to his family's farm and restaurant in the town of Zaz. As he settles back into life, he uncovers a deep, ancient magical presence that has gripped the village and threatens its future. Ito will need to use his combat skills, magical ingredients, and dash of cooking creativity to restore the bonds of his community. Just kind of interesting right here. Larian Studios announces Divinity, their most ambitious title yet. Platforms and a release date have not yet been announced. The gods are silent, rebellion bleeds, new powers stir. Built by the team that brought you Baldur's Gate 3, Larian Studios unchains its ambitions to bring you an RPG with greater breadth and depth than ever before. At least, that's the plan. While Divinity is a brand new game that doesn't require experience with previous Larian titles, those who have played Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2 will be able to enjoy greater understanding and continuity. So I guess it's like a standalone, kind of like a Final Fantasy game. Despite our long history with the series, this is our first game entitled Divinity. Said, We're ready to bring everything we've done previously into one place. This marks the beginning of something with more breadth, depth, and intimacy than anything that we've created before. We've been building towards this moment ever since we took our fate into our own hands. This is the Divinity that we've always wanted to make, and you're going to have loads of fun with it. Cannot wait. Heard nothing but good things about the Divinity Original Sin and Divinity games as well. I've never played them, but heard great things. I need to get those out of my backlog someday. Speaking of games and getting out of my backlog, I've never played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, but also I've never watched the Star Wars movies either, so yeah, Here come the angry comments. How come you never watch Star Wars? I don't really watch a whole lot of movies in general. I really just don't. And also futuristic stuff just bores the ever-loving crap out of me. Okay, so Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic announced for consoles and PC. So here we go. It says, single-player narrative-driven action RPG for unspecified consoles and PC. It's directed by the same person who did the Mass Effect series and the director of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It is a spiritual successor to that game. It's an epic interactive saga across the galaxy on the brink of rebirth where every decision shapes your path towards light or darkness. Fate is in your hands. With Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic, we're telling a completely new and different story with everything that we've learned since, crafting an adventure about choice, destiny, and the timeless struggle between light and dark. We're thrilled to be exploring a fresh, new story that we've never seen before, and we believe that fans will be delighted by the journey that awaits them, and we cannot wait to share more. I've heard nothing but good things about Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, but I think it came out on like the Xbox or something, and it was also kind of, I thought at the time it was Western RPG, but apparently it was kind of turn-based, so I could have played it, but I didn't, and yeah, so that's another one. Need to get on my backlog. Maybe I'll just play this one instead and see how that one works out. Diablo 4 expansion Lord of Hatred has been announced. It adds a high-stakes campaign, 2 new classes, gameplay evolutions, and reveals Sanctuary's oldest, most storied region, Scovos. The only Diablo that I've ever played was Diablo 1 on the PlayStation 1. Me and my friend John used to rent it from Video Wonderland, and then we'd play it whenever we spent the night at each other's house. Because it was like, you know, we were both into RPGs, but that was like a single player thing. But with this, we could play it together. So it was something that we could like, you know, play together and have fun with it on like the sleepovers and order pizza and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was my experience with Diablo. So yeah, haven't played these new ones yet, but I enjoyed it for what it was at the time. But again, Western RPG, and yeah. This expansion for Blizzard's critically acclaimed action RPG unites a high-stakes campaign against Mephisto, 2 powerful new classes, the ancient fabled region of Scovos, and sweeping gameplay updates that redefine how players experience Sanctuary. A pre-purchase grants immediate access to the highly requested Paladin class, offering a new path of divine retribution as darkness closes in. So the Paladin rises as Realm's darkness, wielding a hammer, shield, and holy light to smite Mephisto's demon army with righteous fury. Through melee combat and divine abilities, the Paladin empowers players to strike with both unwavering faith and overwhelming force. Then there's a second yet unrevealed class. Its power is undeniable, its arrival poised to reshape the battlefield when Lord of Hatred launches in April. Then it goes on for a lot of other stuff that I don't really want to talk about. The Elder Scrolls Skyrim Anniversary Edition is now available for the Switch 2 and is a free upgrade for existing owners. So if you have it for the Switch 1, you will get a free Switch 2 upgrade. If you want to buy it for the Switch 2, it is $60 on the eShop. Looks like it is not a physical edition, unfortunately, even though it probably wouldn't be physical anyway because of keycards, but whatever, that's a whole different story and argument. Okay. Dive into the acclaimed base game, the 3 official expansions, Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn. Enjoy enhanced resolution, improved load times, and optimized performance that take full advantage of Nintendo Switch 2's advanced hardware. Discover a massive library of community-favorite content, including new quests, weapons, armor, spells, dungeons, and more, and forge your own story in a world that reacts to your choices. Be a stealthy assassin, powerful mage, noble warrior, or something entirely your own. Lisa Barlow's back. I love this. Okay, I'm done. I Am 8-Bit, Video Game History Foundation, and Megacat Studios team up to bring back lost NES game Excavator. How cool! Due quarter 2 of 2026, and it comes on an NES cart. Yes! 100% of the profits go to the Video Game History Foundation. Fully functional, playable NES cartridge. Long lost, never before played, new NES game that was going to come out back in the day. We'll have links to purchase below. Pre-orders are available now for $100. Okay, so here we go. This is just like such an interesting story. This stuff fascinates me. The original Excavator prototype is a rare glimpse at the struggles of an indie developer trying to break in the console industry during the 8-bit golden age. The world wasn't ready for it in 1991, but thanks to Oberth saving his work and thanks to his family for getting it into archivist hands, 2026 will be the year that his work will finally see the light of day. You would think that this would have been like dumped on a ROM somewhere before, but I guess not. This is an important piece of game history that we're proud to be able to raise awareness for with the help of everybody involved. This one-of-a-kind premium physical release comes with a Nintendo Entertainment System cartridge of the game and a brand new manual featuring further insights into the game and Oberth authored by the team at the Video Game History Foundation. In addition, 100% of the profits will go to supporting the Video Game History Foundation's business reserve and celebrate the history of video games. I'm getting tongue-tied. I've been talking for too long. Fans of video games and their preservation can pre-order the product for $100. Pre-orders close on Monday, January the 10th. So it is a very short pre-order window. You only have till Monday, January the 10th if you want this rare collector's edition. Physical game expected to ship in Q2 of next year. Okay, so originally developed by the company behind coin-operated classics like Golden Tee Golf, Big Bunk Hunter, and more, this was shopped around to multiple publishers across the country in 1991, but it never found a home and was quietly archived and never looked at again. You would think that they would have put this in Nintendo Power or something, because they did that all the time back in the day, like, hey, look at this game, it's totally gonna come out, and like, it never came out. They did it all the frickin' time. It drove me crazy. There was this hockey RPG called Fire and Ice, and it had like, I think it ended up coming out for the SNES, but it wasn't. The NES version had a story mode, and it had like battles where you like played hockey against each other, and had a world map, and you went to different towns, and you would like have to like become the reigning hockey champion of each town. It was like Pokemon, you know, go to the gym badge and get the badge for this town because you're the hockey master, you know. And it had that, and it talked about it in Nintendo Power, and we never got it. It never came out, and I'm still so pissed about it. Even like 30 something years later, I want my Fire and Ice game. Anyway, I'm going crazy over here. The collective effort rooted in passion and altruism, Excavator is now finished, staying true to Oberth's original vision, using the same tools that would have been used to fully develop the title in 1991. The cartridges we packed with a 14-page manual. Retro fans who grew up with the Nintendo Entertainment System are able to find lovingly crafted manuals of the past, with additional special segment of the book dedicated to the history of Excavator, Oberth, the studio, and more, making for a release that players and retro enthusiasts can display proudly for years to come. This is so freaking cool. I wanted to end the news on a positive note with this really cool announcement. I'll include links to all this stuff below, and have a good day, everyone.